I took the Lockpicking Minigame from Kingdom Come Deliverance and remade it using Python Tkinter. In KCD, you move the cursor to find the sweet spot. Then you must rotate the lock while keeping the cursor on the sweet spot. If you stray too much, the lockpick breaks and you start over. So first things first, I have to get a lock up on the screen. Now I could just take the lock image straight from the game, but I wanted to flex my artistic muscle. So I just had ChatGPT generate an image of a lock for me. Now that I have a lock, it's time to put it on the screen. I create a canvas, resize the image to fit, and then I display the lock. Next up is adding the sweet spot. To do this, I first calculated the center of the lock image. Then I picked a random angle and distance from the center to generate the spot's coordinates. Finally, I used those coordinates to draw a circle onto the lock. Of course, the sweet spot should be hidden, but for now, I keep it visible for debugging. The player should be able to tell easily whether or not the cursor is over the sweet spot. So I hid the default cursor and added a custom image for the cursor. The image tends to glitch out when you move the mouse really fast, but that's probably because Tkinter isn't meant to make stuff like this. I don't know, but despite the glitchiness, it works well enough. So I created another version of the cursor that glows and added it to the game. Finally, I made it where when the cursor is inside of the sweet spot within a certain range, the cursor image switches to the glowing image. So the player needs the ability to rotate the lock. This is the part where I kind of ran into an issue, a lag issue specifically. I was able to make it where the player can hold down E to rotate the lock, but Tkinter was struggling to update both the lock image and the mouse cursor image at the same time. Luckily, after some optimization, which mainly involved making the lock image smaller, I was able to get both the lock and cursor to update efficiently. Now, not only can you rotate the lock by holding E, but if you let E go, the lock rotates back to its original position. I also made it where if you're over the sweet spot and whenever the lock does a complete rotation, you'll get a pop-up saying that you succeeded. So as of right now, the minigame is way too easy because there's no punishment for failing. I fixed this by making it where if you rotate the lock while outside of the sweet spot, the lock stops rotating. To help reinforce this, a clicking sound plays whenever you make a mistake. And then for some extra immersion, I added a shuffling sound for when you're moving the cursor. Now it sounds like you're actually trying to pick a lock. Finally, I added lockpick durability. If you try to rotate the lock while the cursor isn't in the right position, the lockpick's durability will decrease. If it reaches 0, the lockpick breaks and you get a game over menu. After playtesting, I can confidently say that my version of the lockpicking minigame is equally, if not more frustrating than the original from Kingdom Come Deliverance. Or maybe I'm just bad at video games in general. But either way, thank you for watching.